Come sit. We're going to start.
Testing.
Good morning, Liz.
Good morning, Robert.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Too late to play
I talked to Evelyn. She's going to show you the clicker during her slides.
Good.
But I'm going to do it in the beginning and the end, just so she. But yeah, I'm just going to try to hand it to her, I guess, right before she goes up. And
or let her have it now and just click through on the laptop.
That's actually a good idea. Yeah, maybe I'll do that, so I don't have to do all the transition.
I don't need that. I have to go sleep.
Well, I do too, but then it's supposed to. I gave Robert a frisbee.
Yeah, he was wondering where you got that from. Come on. No.
My dad.
I was outside.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity in Bonita. Please join me in the Lord's Prayer chant. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing your Sunday morning with us. First of all, I think I'm going to mention this now. Our air conditioning is fine in here, but it is out in the foyer area. And there are people who are coming around 10:30. So if you happen to hear something unusual at around 10:30 or so, we are repairing the air conditioning, and yes, thank you. I think one of the most unusual things you can experience is someone saying around the 1st of August in Florida, your air conditioning is out. So we will be more than happy to see them. We'll probably invite them to coffee and conversation. We will go all out to thank them. First of all, is there anyone or more than one person who is here with us for the very first time? If so, would you mind raising your hand? Well, all right, we must have done something right. Everybody's back for at least the second time. Thank you so much. And especially those of you who share your time with us online, we so appreciate your presence with us. Thank you so very much. Our minister today is Reverend Evelyn Foreman, and her background is so interesting. If you don't mind, I would simply like to read this instead of improvising. I know improvising, I would miss something important. Reverend Evelyn Foreman is an ordained Unity minister committed to an embodiment, deeper inner work, and storytelling as a path to transformation. She's currently pursuing her doctoral studies in energy medicine and metaphysics. She integrates spiritual wisdom, healing practices, and personal growth in her work. She is a published author, featured in the Daily Word and other Unity publications. Her upcoming books are Wisdom Casting, the Abundance series, and The Soul of Clay. Blend timeless wisdom, new thought principles, and practical manifestation. She is the founder of the Legacy Love Project. She inspires mindful presence and intentional living. She was born in post-war Vietnam. Her journey from adversity to spiritual leadership exemplifies resilience, faith, and the power of embodied transformation. Through her speaking, writing, and coaching, she helps others reconnect with their divine essence and live with purpose. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being with us. If you have not checked that little cell phone to make sure that it is off, I checked mine twice today. Please just double check that, and if you hear one ringing up toward the front, please just ignore it. May we now share our mission and our vision statements. Together,
to invite and inspire spiritual consciousness through unity and principles. We are love, joy, and acceptance in the world. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here.
As always, we have our prayer box in the front. Unity is just so integrated with mindful prayer that please, anytime you feel a need, we have the little pieces of paper and pencil, I believe, to be able to share and put in our box. As you know, for I believe it's 30 days here, our chaplains and will pray over the message that you leave in the box. And of course, then it goes to Silent Unity, where again, we are blessed with the support by prayer of those folks. Would you join me, please, in just a few seconds of appreciation for the prayer life in our unity? Thank you. Bill will share our affirmations. Was that word just not coming to me? And our daily word. Why ask why? It happens to me all the time. Bill, thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Affirmations for August. Inner peace. My mind and heart are steeped in peace. Together.
My mind and heart are steeped in peace.
Wisdom. Centered in divine wisdom, I discern my next steps. Together.
Centered in divine wisdom, I discern my next steps.
life. Attuned to infinite vitality, I thrive. Together.
Attuned to infinite vitality, I thrive.
Prosperity. I live richly in appreciation. Together.
I live richly in appreciation.
Worth. I am a divine human, worthy and wondrous. Together.
I am a divine human, worthy and wondrous.
Today's daily word reading, the heading is Truth. I speak my truth with clarity and compassion. Living in an increasingly polarized world, I am aware not everyone will share my perspective or see life the way I do. As much as I want to live harmoniously with others, I also want to stand up for what I believe, what I know is true for me. I appreciate that others feel the same way about their beliefs. I speak my truth. I center myself in my divinity while acknowledging the divinity of all others. I am honest and grounded, staying steady if someone does not agree with me. Likewise, I receive others' truths as I would want them to receive mine. The presence of God is within me. I am a spiritual being living with integrity, speaking words of truth with spiritual power. From the prophet Zechariah. These are the things that you shall do. Speak the truth to one another. Render in your gates judgments that are true, and make for peace.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. There's a holy hush around us as God's glory fills this place. Touch the hem of the garment, I can almost see God's face. My heart is overflowing with the fullness of God's joy. I know without a doubt that I've been with the Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
So we take those words into our experience of meditation today. Where you are, I invite you to gently close your outer eyes if you're called. Begin to just take a moment to settle in together. And as you take your breath, feel the presence of the Lord in this place. The God within us, the God around us, blessing our physical being, blessing our mind, our heart, our community. And so as we get settled here, I invite you to consciously invite breath into your body temple. Breathe in deeply, taking it all the way into your belly. Just follow the breath. And as you release your breath and let it go, allow your shoulders to drop. Find any area in your body that might be holding or tight. And just release it. Let it wash over you. And now feel the surface that is holding you right now. Place your awareness where your body touches the earth. Your feet planted straight on Mother Earth. And in your seat right now, we just know that we are present. Nowhere to be, nothing to do, just this moment. The warm, luminous, loving space of your sacred center. That beautiful place within where spirit resides, where truth emanates. And as you breathe, feel yourself resting in that center. You are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are the calm presence beneath it all. You are the light within the light. And in this stillness, affirm gently with me in the silence of your mind. I am centered in divine truth. I speak my truth with clarity and compassion. I honor the divine in myself and others. I am home in the presence of God. Inhale deeply. Feel those words settle in your being. Let them echo beyond language, deep into your soul. As we allow that vibration to reverberate in our being, in the silence, in the silence. Now begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel the inhale and the exhale. Gently return to your body, to this time, to this space, to this moment. Close today's meditation with affirmations. I'm going to repeat it one time and leave a silence for you to either receive or repeat it silently to yourself. I return to my sacred center. I live in truth. I walk in peace. I speak with love. Inhale to receive. And as we return back to our community and our sanctuary, let this day be rooted in stillness, guided by clarity, and filled with grace. And so it is. Amen.
Please help me with this song. Got this song from my brother Bill Bosco. He said, there's a Glenn Campbell song that I kind of like. It's called Try a Little Kindness. Why don't you look it up and see if you like it? So I found the song. And I guess Glenn Campbell, he had a hit on this back in 1969. You know, that's 56 years ago. You believe that? Wow. Anyway, so here we are. And I thought this might go good with Evelyn's message today. Help me out with this. Whoops, that's wrong. This is a very complicated instrument. Here we go, let's give it a try. If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, and if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. You got to try a little kindness. Yes, show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. Don't walk around the down and out. Lend a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show every day will help someone along the way. You got to try a little kindness. Yes, show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, yeah, you overlook the blindness of narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets. You've got to try a little kindness. Yes, show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, overlook the blindness of narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets. One more time. You've got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine the light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. Thank you. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, I needed that. Yeah. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for having me back. Unity of tomorrow. Can you speak a little bit louder? Yes. Is this better? Yes. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Was it hard to hear during the meditation? No. Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry. I usually have a headset, so I'm not used to it, so thank you for letting me know. Let's see how I do with or without my notes today. All right, so today we're talking about finding your spiritual center in times of change. And I find myself walking through life practicing this, right? How to stay spiritually centered in times of change. And by the way, if anyone's curious, I think the air conditioner man came. I'm not sure. I see him, but that was during the meditation. I'm going, oh, this is fun. So he's here. Okay, so I wrote down some key phrases from that wonderful song. Try a little kindness, overlook blindness, narrow-minded people in narrow-minded streets. That jumped out at me. And as a metaphysical studies student, I'm thinking, well, how am I narrow-minded to myself? Right? How about if I try some kindness to myself? You know, you ever heard of people saying, oh, I'm my worst critic? Well, knock it off. Be kind to yourself, right? So anyway, that's what came to me. I thought I'd share that. Okay, so let's take some time, just one breath, to simply arrive. I love the smile, by the way. It just is wonderful. So let's take a deep breath together. And then exhale. Beautiful. What a wonderful way to spend Sunday morning. So good. So we're here in Sacred Community, and I know that I've been asked to do the speaking, and it's wonderful, but I also want to let you know that when I come here, I feel ministered to. I do. I love this community. It's wonderful, and thank you for being who you are. It's really a special place, and so I wanted to share that with you. And then I was asked to integrate today's daily word with a message, and of course it's truth. I'm not going to reread it, because then that's going to be another thing, right? But one thing that did jump out at me is the last line in today's daily word. It says, I am a spiritual being living with integrity, speaking words of truth with spiritual power. I am a spiritual being living with integrity, speaking words of truth with spiritual power. So I wanted to pull that out as I share today's message with you. And I want to ask this one pivotal question. What does it mean for us to live in our truth and to speak our truth from a spiritually aligned place, from our center, when everything around us is shifting? All the time. This is part of life, right? So if we're really honest with ourselves, things are always shifting and morphing and changing. I mean, what is it that they say? Every single cell in our body is not the same every 7 years. Like we go through and we just get rid of our cells and then new cells regenerate. So we are different every 7-year cycle. So that's just with our physical body. I mean, think about your mindset or your heart or your relationship, etc. So whether it's our health, relationship, wealth, career, retirement, grandchildren, etc., we're always experiencing these seasons of change. So then, the question becomes, where do I go within to find this peace, this clarity, and this trust again? So that's what we're going to explore today. Just out of curiosity, and you don't have to tell me exactly what it is. If you're going through active change right now, any kind of change, big or small, raise your hand. Okay, great. Thank you. I find myself always going through change, and I don't know if we shared this, Bill, to the community that I'll be traveling this fall. Have we shared that? So I'm going to be traveling this fall. I was slated to come and share my message for fall, and I had to switch because I'm called to go travel, and come September, I will be in Thailand, which is really awesome. We're going to be there for 60 days, and then I'm going to obviously be in an active prayer process to say, hey, Spirit, where am I going next? So hold that in prayer and see that unfolding, because I think we might go to India. Or maybe even to Vietnam. I'm not sure. I've never been there, besides being born there. So we'll see. Okay, so staying spiritually centered in times of change. There's an Italian proverb that says, if you can't live longer, boy, do we wish we could live longer, right, some of us? If you can't live longer, live deeper. Live deeper. Okay, so the good news is I hear some people going, no, I don't want to live longer. So that's good, because now you get to live deeper and engage yourself with that process of living deeper. Not just on the surface, because we're here at Unity, and we don't live on the surface level, most of us, we go deeper, right? So here's a question to engage with regard to today's daily word as truth. So whoever has daily word, I would invite you tonight, maybe after service, to go back and reread the message in the daily word today, truth. Because it's all about speaking my truth with outside forces, the other, right? And that we show up in truth with our truth and we explain it lovingly. So here's one way of engaging deeper with yourself. What if you do this reading tonight and it's not, you read it in a different context and look at it from engaging with yourself. Because all of life is always, regardless of whatever situation you're in a relationship with yourself. So reread that, for those of us who understand what I'm talking about. Reread that from that context and see how you could lovingly engage yourself when you disagree. When your humanness disagrees with that divine identity that lives, courses, breathes through, in, through, and as you. Okay, and then you want to ask yourself, how do I show up? How do I show up for another person in the reading of today's daily word? And also, how do I show up for myself when I disagree? And if you want to take it into even a broader context, how does this show up in our community? Whatever the group need is, right? So I've heard coming in about the fluctuation in numbers in the community. And, we're here in Florida, so people go back to their homes in the north or wherever. And of course, it's going to fluctuate. So how do we engage in that when we're thinking about, our friends are over there and we're over here, and keeping the community engaged and together? Because it's a small-knit community, and we get to think about that as a group. So anyway, that's what came to me. I thought I'd share that. And I have a clicker. Thank you, Robert. How do I do it? Red?
The arrow.
Arrow.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so change by nature is the rhythm of life, is it not? Yes, it's the rhythm of life. If we don't change, we don't grow. That's just the truth. But so many of us resist change. We run the other way. We do everything we can so we can stay stable and grounded. That's a fair interpretation, right? We often think of change as a disruption or an inconvenience in our life. But what if that is simply life itself asking you to grow? Because if the seed doesn't pop out of its pod, it stays underground. We're no different. We're one part and parcel of nature. So You might be in a season of ending right now, or perhaps what Reverend Robert Brummett calls the void. And by the way, this talk is inspired by his book, Finding Yourself in Transition. Does anybody know that book? Have you read it? Okay, look it up. Finding Yourself in Transition, Robert Brummett. He's a longtime Unity minister. It's wonderful. I read the book once a year, at least, to remind myself to be with the flow, right? That void is the space between the space. You know, it's that quietness between the music note, or that inhale, and then you gotta have a space before you exhale, right? So that's what Robert Brummett calls the void. And sometimes you're at the edge of your knowing, like, this is gonna change, and I'm at the end of my knowing. You're almost like standing on the edge, on a cliff, and you're not sure how to step forward. And I'm going to share with you that it's also a way of life engaging you, asking you to change, to switch direction. Remember high school when they said in your yearbook, don't change, stay the same. You are, you remember that, right? Yeah, well, change is part of life. It's absolutely necessary. And I would invite you to consider, just a consideration, that if things are shifting for you, health, wealth, love relationships, transitions, it's for you. It's a way that life is asking you to engage with your experience of life, the way you engage with yourself on a deeper level, not the surface level, the deeper level, right? Especially when it becomes hard and scary. So I'm going to share with you just really briefly. A couple of years ago, I went through a sudden shift in my marriage. Anyone married here for a long time, right? Yeah. Isn't that the gift that keeps giving, right? You get matched up with the right, perfect person to press all your buttons so that you can learn what your buttons are. Because in an intimate relationship like that, like a marriage, long term, you're legally binded, first of all, to this person. And also, there's not this fleeting moment. You can't just like go, I don't want to deal with this anymore, I'm out. But if you're going to be in an honest, intimate relationship, you got to deal with your own stuff, right? So there was a sudden shift in my relationship with my husband. We've been married now for 20 years. And my title, my role, because we work together, we travel together, we have kids together, we just do everything together. And it just became like this sudden awakening process. With the change came my sense of identity. Does anyone here know what Saturn return is? Or Chiron return is? Chiron? Okay. If you're curious, write it down. I'm not going to give a talk on it because that's going to be a whole different talk altogether. So around 30, around 50, there's changes, shifts in your way of being. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So there was a huge shift for me. And I realized that life is asking me to look at myself and my life, what I was clinging to, what I could no longer tolerate, not just in the relationship, but in myself. And it was yucky for a while, because this is what change does. It breaks things down that no longer serve you, and whatever is to remain will stay. And from that foundation, all of the outer stuff is gone, right? The golden Buddha. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when I say golden Buddha? No? Okay, I'm sorry. There's so many talks from this one talk, I have to come back. So the golden Buddha is Buddha that they found somewhere in Asia, and when they first found it, it was all covered in mud. And they just thought it was like a muddy pile, right? And over time, the mud came off and they revealed it. It was a golden Buddha. It was made of gold. So it's just the layers of the onion, peeling off. And so I got to a place of blankness, and it scared me. It terrified me. And then I started questioning, well, how could this be? this is the person I committed to, and now nothing's working. Nothing is working. If you've been together long enough, you know what I'm talking about, right? But it was in that space of not working. All the stuff just being tossed out, questioning myself, all of my life choices, that I was able to come back. But I had to start from blank. Yeah. And if I'm quiet, it's because I'm trying to discern how much time I want to take in your day. Okay, so let's go on to the next one here. So, change is not just change itself. Like when we react to the changes in our life, it has to do with our biology. Our nervous system goes, oh my gosh, a change. I'm triggered. I don't have control of what's happening here. How do I get a grip? Our ego then reacts, and then we become discombobulated, right? That's part of change. It's all part of it. And if we know it, if we're one step ahead and go, oh, I'm a little nutso right now because I'm going through this change. Well, you're actually being at the right and perfect time. When you feel disoriented, when you feel like nothing is working, when you blame, shame, criticism, victimhood, we've all been through that. If you're human, you're going to go through that. If you want to deepen, you will stay engaged with it because it is your best teacher when you find yourself doing that. So let's talk about change really quick. It's not actually the change itself. It's that something has shifted in our life and it pulls us out of our sacred center. That's why we come back in community every day or every week. At least once a week, to come back to get reminded, to come back to the peace that we are. That when change happens, it's going to pull us off center. And so then the question is, how do we come back to center? You know, do we go into fight, freeze, flight? Did I say that already? Fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Wow, lots of F's. Tongue twister. I'm going to do that at the end of service today. When that happens, we're like deer in headlights, right? We grip harder, we try to fix, we plan, we control, and we say to ourselves sometimes like, oh, this shouldn't be happening. Why is this that? What's wrong with me? And does it get any better? Well, friends, those are normal reactions. Very, very normal. And also, it's not the truth of our being. We weren't born that way. We learned to survive. We became human that way. Our sacred center is not that part of us that panics when there's a change, that panics when we hear a diagnosis, that panics when there's a transition of some sort. It's that our sacred center is that part of us that witnesses all of this. It's the you, your higher self, that is seeing all of this. And if you're quiet enough, you'll know that you're engaging with your sacred center all the time, right? During prayer process. And I'm sharing this with you not to bypass, that is not the truth of who you are, but to remind you that change is not change should not take you out of your center. There you go. That it's not a destination. Your center is not a destination. It's not like you come back to your center. It's the frequency of how you come back to your center. So you want to be anchored in love, anchored with spirit. I saw the sign outside, which is beautiful. Respond with love. That's our frequency. We were born with love. That's our frequency, not fight, flight, or freeze, right? It's about practicing the return is about knowing how to come back when you forget. Because if you're human, you will forget. You have those very normal biological processes. It's about practicing the return. So to know that spirit is always present and that love is always available. And we seem to forget that when we're not in touch with our breath, when we're not in touch with our body, when we're not in touch with our truth. That's why we have meditation practice at every service. It's to help you get out of your brain, move those 18 inches back to your heart, because that really is the muscle that is the strong muscle in our bodies, right? So let's take a moment now and just breathe. So inhale deeply and then exhale. And even with that one breath, you shift your energy. You shift it. Let's do that again. Feel the breath is sacred this time. And then exhale, feel your feet onto the earth. Feel yourself held. Okay. All right. So here are 3 ways to return to your center. Pause and breathe, which we just did. Your breath is always available. So long as you're alive, you have your breath. So when you pause and breathe consciously, you shift your entire energetic field. You want to name the moment. You know, when you're triggered, you're out of the moment. You get hijacked emotionally. So if you're able to step out of that and name the moment, oh, this is fear. This is grief. This is just me being human. This is uncertainty. And oh, yeah, uncertainty scares me. Check in with your power center. Naming it invites compassion into your life. Whose compassion? Your own compassion, right? It's that kindness that we were singing about just before the service. Self-kindness. And then you want to create a daily sacred rhythm. So here's an invitation. After the service, or maybe right now, decide for yourself to choose one non-negotiable practice each day. For yourself. This is self-care, radical self-care, and self-compassion. Choose one non-negotiable practice each day. Maybe you are already doing it. Morning prayer, gratitude journal, walking in the silence. And it's not about how long you do it. It's about the energy of devotion. You're devoted to it. You're committed to it. You're committed to finding your sacred center every single day before you maybe even open your eyes. For some of us, our devotion is to come together in Sunday service to remind ourselves that, hey, there's a bunch of people here who think somewhat like me, and they resonate. To see yourself in community, which is really, really beautiful. Okay, so there is a sacred gift in every transition. So I have this butterfly here. We all know this. In order for a butterfly to emerge, the caterpillar's got to give up its life. And then you go into this cocoon, which is kind of full of mush, right? You literally disintegrate. And then the butterfly emerges. So I have a couple of quotes here. What the caterpillar calls the end, the master calls a butterfly. Endings and beginnings. We're always going through transition. Could be major, could be minor. You know, something, I don't know why this is occurring to me, but something as simple as oral surgery, you lose a tooth or whatever, that's a transition. You've now lost a piece of yourself. And now you're adjusting to another thing, whatever, implant or dentures or whatever it is. It's always, life is always engaging with us through transitions. So what if that in-between space, the stretch of unknown, discomfort, maybe even grief, it's not punishment? What if it's an initiation of your unfolding? That process that you go through that may feel very painful is a threshold. It's an initiation into living a more conscious, awakened life. Your world becomes bigger because something has shifted. You've learned to master something else, right? So I believe that we're being asked to shed what no longer serves us so that we can embody that who we've come to be. to embody this life more and more. And that's why we have change, because if there is no change, we would get really bored. If there's no change, there's no differential, we would all look alike, have the same thoughts, and then why even incarnate? Why even be here, right? So the center of who we are is what carries us through this sacred dissolution. So you were born a soul, you dropped in, you're sacred, you're divine, and that being is within each and every single one of us. God is, I am. It's unity principle number 2, right? I am. I am. It's that I am. And it doesn't matter how we manifest in our humanness, we come back to that I am holding of who we are. That's the space where something holy is gestating and growing and asking of you to unfold, to release, to grow. Okay, here we go. This is a blessing. It's a closing moment of stillness. So what I'd like to do is to read this twice, and the second time you could choose to say it out loud, or you can just sit in the sanctuary and allow our community here to bless you and let these words reverberate in your being. So I invite you to close your eyes and just feel the words and really embody them. Take a deep inhale. Exhale to release, come to presence. I return to myself. Repeat. I return to myself. I return to the breath. Repeat. I return to breath. I return to the one who has never left me. Repeat. I return to the one who has never left me. I am home. Repeat. I am home. Yes, you are. So when we talk about coming home to our sacred center, we're talking about living from our deepest truth. We're tying this back into our daily word now. That's the truth of our being. It's not just what we believe, but it's who we truly are in spirit. And in a world that may not always see things the way we do, living and speaking our truth is tantamount, right? It's really important to be clear, to be compassionate, and let that be a radical act of love. Whether you're considering this for the outside community, your family, the other political party, whatever is happening there, or to yourself, let it be a radical act of love. We can be grounded in our own knowing, all the while honoring the divinity of others around us. I think that concludes everything that is on my notes, and I just want to say responding with love sometimes in times of change, it's not easy, but when we come back to center and we're integrated, we don't just do it in a way that's harmonious, and it's not about inspiring other people to be in their love space. It's about being integrated and aligned so that you live the life that you get to live. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me. Day by day, day by day. Oh dear Lord, three things I pray. to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day, day by day. Oh dear Lord, three things I pray: to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Hey Bill, why don't you come up and take this mic? Why don't you sing this with me? Day by day, day by day. Oh dear Lord, three things I pray: to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day. Day by day, oh dear Lord, three things I pray: to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day. Day by 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 day. Thank you.
We now come to the part of our service where we are able to show and demonstrate our gratitude for everything that we have been given as we share back with unity in our community. If the ushers would come forward, you can also see that with today's modern technology, there are numbers of ways that you may present your gifts to Bonita. Obviously here in person, PayPal, QR code, any way you desire to share with us. We appreciate it and we thank you tremendously. Would you join me please in our offering prayer? Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Let's all pray and bless these gifts that are before us. Mother, Father God, we just give thanks for our beautiful, sacred community, for the gifts before us. We see them pressed down and overflowing and multiplying in divine measure as a signal of prosperity that we are. For all this and the life that we have, we simply give thanks. And so it is. As always, after our services, we invite you to join us out on the lanai for coffee and conversations. It is a wonderful time to get to know people a little deeper and to, again, just share this wonderful community that we have here. I can never stand up here that I just don't feel so overwhelmed with saying thank you to everybody who volunteers in every way. If I started mentioning names and ways, I know I would omit someone and I would feel very bad about that. But Unity thrives on volunteerism, so thank you for every single solitary thing that you do to make this service happen throughout the week. Thank you very, very deeply. Upcoming events, we have decided to share those via our bulletin board outside, our Facebook presence. Have I neglected to mention anything special that we should add? Yeah, Colleen?
Those are pictures, that's a picture of the uniforms that I took this week to Bonita Springs Elementary. I put them all on my dining room table and took a picture. Put them in bags and brought them there. And I want to thank you for your generosity. We had 20 shirts and 20 pairs of pants, and shorts rather, and they were very grateful to receive them. So any additional money that I receive, I will get more, and then I'll make a trip back, but I wanted to get those to them before, because we'll start pretty soon. Thank you.
A short time ago, we initiated something that I think is very, very special, and that is our gratitude circle. So for those of you who would like to share, and I hope that's practically everybody, would you please come up and we will form sort of a elongated circle up here and share the things for which we are very grateful. I'm sorry.
And for my friendship.
Thank you for today. I'm grateful to be going to visit my family up in Connecticut. Our family is a family, but a family of a church family, a family of friends in our world. It's all family.
Thank you for this present moment, this great sense of community. Thank you.
Thank you for training AC technicians.
Thank you for breath and the hands that I hold. This beautiful community.
Would you stand, please, if you can, and we will sing our peace song and the prayer of protection following that.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, and we all agree. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace remain with me. Let's be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my trials now. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen.